visual literacy, color wheel, art elements, and design principles. Topics of the day. Today we have 3 topics we're going to discuss and go into detail over. Firstly, the color wheel. Secondly, the 7 elements of art. And thirdly, contrast. Contrast is a design principle. The color wheel. A diagram used in visual arts to represent the colors of the visual art spectrum and the relationship to one another. The colors are arranged systematically into a circle with each hue usually falling into one of 3 categories: primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. You can see the image of the color wheel. The color wheel has 12 different colors. We're going to go into what all the primary colors are, what all the secondary colors are, and what all the tertiary colors are. The primary colors. The colors from which all the other colors originate. There are 3 primary colors. They are red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors. When primary colors are combined, there are 3 secondary colors: orange, green, and violet. When you mix red and yellow, you get the color orange. When you mix blue and yellow, you get the color green. When you mix red and blue, you get the color violet. Tertiary colors. These are colors created by combining a primary color and a secondary color. There are 6 tertiary colors: red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, and red-violet. When you combine red and orange, you get the color red-orange. When you combine yellow and orange, you get yellow-orange. When you combine yellow with green, you get yellow-green. When you combine blue with green, you get the color blue-green. When you combine blue with violet, you get the color blue-violet. When you combine red with violet, you get the color red-violet. When you are looking at the color wheel, you will see that the colors, the tertiary colors, are in the middle of the 2 colors which they come from. Like red, orange is between red and orange. Yellow-orange is between yellow and orange. Yellow-green is in between yellow and green. Blue-green is in between blue and green. Blue-violet is in between blue and violet. And red-violet is in between red and violet. Complementary colors. Colors located directly opposite one another on the color wheel. Today we are using the primary colors and the secondary colors. You know now that the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and the secondary colors are green, violet, and orange. Now, when you put them next to each other or on top of each other, you will see that they complement each other very well. Red and green are complementary colors, yellow and violet are complementary colors, and blue and orange are complementary colors. An example you can think of is when it's Christmas. Everywhere you look, you see green and you see red, and those 2 colors complement each other. Hue and tone. Hue, the dominant color family of a specific color we're looking at. White, black, and gray are never referred to as a hue. To make hue easier, hue is the same as the name of a color. Tone. Tone is when gray is added to a color. You can add gray to any color and then you will be left with tone. Shade and tint. Shade is when black is added to a color. You can add black to any color and you will be left with shade. Tint. Tint is when white is added to a color. You can add white to any color and you will be left with tint. Cool and warm colors. The cool colors are violet, blue-violet, blue, blue-green, green, and yellow-green. To help you remember the cool colors, think about when it's cold and it's winter. You see all the snow, you think of the ice, which is sometimes blue. You can remember the cool colors by thinking about winter. The warm colors: red-violet, red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, and yellow. You can remember the warm colors by thinking of a warm day when the sun is setting. All these colors come into the sky when the sun is setting. Art elements. There are 7 different elements of art. The first one is form, an element of art that is three-dimensional and encloses volume, includes height, width, and depth. As a cube, a sphere, a pyramid, or a cylinder. These are all examples of 3D shapes that are forms. Form may also be free-flowing. Shape, an element of art that is two-dimensional, flat, or limited to height and width. This can be shapes that you draw flat on a page. They do not have height, they do not have volume, width, or depth. They are just flat and made with lines. Line, an element of art defined by a point in moving in space. Line may be two- or three-dimensional, descriptive, implied, or abstract. Value, the lightness or darkness of tones or colors. White is the lightest value, black is the darkest, and the value halfway between these two extremes is called middle gray. Space, an element of art by which positive and negative areas are defined, or a sense of depth is achieved in the work of art. Texture, an element of art that refers to the way things feel or look as if they might feel if touched. And the last art element is color, an element of art made up of 3 properties: hue, value, and intensity. Hue is the name of the color. Value, hues lightness and darkness. A color's value changes when white or black is added to it. You can make the color lighter by adding white and you will create a tint. You can make a color darker by adding black and then you will have a shade. Intensity, the quality of brightness and purity. When a color has high intensity, the color is strong and very bright. When a color has low intensity, the color is faint and dull. Design principles. Today we're only going to be looking at contrast, a way of combining elements to stress the difference between those two elements. Here you can see in the image, there's a black tree in the middle. On the left side, it is blue. On the right side, it is orange. These can be called, on the right side, it is the warm colors. On the left side, it is the cool colors. This shows you the difference between what it can look like in the day and in the night. And that is what contrast is. Contrast, to make it easier to understand, is making things different or seeing things in a different way. And to sum it all up, the color wheel. There are 12 different colors on the color wheel that are grouped into the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. The colors can also be divided into cool and warm colors. There is a difference between hue, tone, shade, and tint. Hue can be described as the name of a color. Tone is when you add gray to a color. Shade is when you add black to a color. And tint is when you add white to a color. The art elements. There are just 7 elements of art namely form, shape, line, value, space, texture, and color. Contrast, a way of combining elements to stress the difference between those elements. It is used to show difference.